actually kind of want to set Beartown on fire right now. Hi friends, welcome to today's vlog. Come along with me as I mood read throughout my week. The first book that I'm going to be reading this week is actually a book that's been calling my name for such a long time, and I feel like it's finally time that I pick it up. And it is Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I know this is a really sad book. I don't know how sad it is going to make me. Just felt this urge to pick it up as soon as possible. It is finally time that I do it. I actually already am 100 pages into this book, and so far it's been going great. So this is a book about this place called Beartown. It is a very small town somewhere in the north. It doesn't really have too much going on, but one thing that it has is that it has a pretty solid junior hockey team. So you're following a cast of many characters. You see how their fates intertwine and their relationships between each other. I think it's going to be a really great read. At least so far I am enjoying it so much. As I said, I'm 100 pages in. I actually picked this book up already back in January. I read the first 70 pages and I enjoyed them so much. However, as I said, it's a really sad book. So at the time I was kind of going through a lot. I was dealing with a lot of burnout. I was really busy and stressed about my work. I felt like it was probably not the best time to pick up something that was really sad, and I felt like I might be doing a disservice to the book and also to myself by reading it at that time. So I decided to put that down, and now last night I decided to pick it back up again, and I feel like now I'm in a perfect place and mood to read this book. It is a wintry read because it is based in a town that's somewhere up in the north and talks about hockey, and the weather has been really cold even though it is the beginning of March already. So I feel like it is a really good read specifically for this time, and actually the events of this book, I think they take place at the beginning of March as well, so I feel like it's meant to be. And honestly, so far I'm having a great time reading this book. The way Fredrik Backman crafts his stories is absolutely incredible. This is a second or third book that I'm trying from him. I just feel like he is a mastermind when it comes to incredible writing. Every sentence is just saying so much, but in such simple ways. It's so unique how he talks about everything and how he describes the characters and the relationships and things that people go through. So when I decided that I'm actually going to read this book, I decided to reread the first 70 pages that I've already read like a couple of months ago. I remember all of the events that happened in those 70 pages, but it almost felt like I was reading it for the first time again, because the writing is so great that even though I knew what was going to happen, I was enjoying it as if I was reading it for the first time, because I was discovering more little moments that I paid attention to that maybe I didn't notice the first time. It is honestly such a great time. I'm not marking too many places, but there is one that I felt like makes sense out of context. All adults have days when we feel completely drained, when we no longer know quite what we spent so much time fighting for, when reality and everyday worries overwhelm us and we wonder how much longer we're going to be able to carry on. The wonderful thing is that we can all live through far more days like that without breaking than we think. The terrible thing is that we never know exactly how many. I feel like this little snippet describes perfectly the feeling of this book, like the tone of the book, but also the tone of the writing. Anyway, it's just my first impression of the book. I will let you guys know how it goes once I get further into it. So let me talk to you a little bit about the plans for this week. So right now it is Friday. I'm having a very chill, relaxed day, which I'm so grateful for. I just took like an everything shower and I feel so clean and so like reset. And I actually have really exciting plans for the weekend because my boyfriend and I are going away for like a small staycation somewhere nearby. I am just so excited. It's been a really long time since we took a trip together. I feel like it's just going to be so nice to get out for a bit, and I'm looking forward to it so much. So we are going to be driving later tonight. Until then, I'm going to be doing a little bit more reading. I'm also going to have some lunch, pack my bag, and we will be heading out in a bit. I will obviously be taking you guys along with me. I will be filming as we go, and I'm just really excited to get away for a little bit and have a fun, relaxing weekend. Saturday, welcome back. So I have made a little bit more progress in Beartown. I'm currently on page 140, not too much. It's definitely taking a much darker turn. At the beginning of this book, there are so many humorous moments or moments that are pretty light-hearted, but then as you go on deeper into like the backstories of every character, there is so much darkness in everyone's life in Beartown, and everyone has gone through some pretty terrible, horrible things. It is still like an enjoyable read. I'm very interested to see where the story is going to go and how the events are going to resolve. Right now we're still pretty much in the exposition of the book. It takes quite a while, but I am about to start the events of the main hockey game of this book, so I'm interested to see where the plot is going to go and what is going to be like the main plot line of this book. And something interesting is that yesterday when I was packing for this trip, I actually listened to a bit of the audiobook, and usually I listen to audiobooks at like 1.2 speed, 1.5 sometimes, depends a lot on the narrator, right? But this particular audiobook I actually cannot listen to anything faster than the regular speed, because I feel like every sentence I really want to savor it. This is the type of book that I don't feel like rushing through. It's really something that I'm trying to take in very slowly and really pace myself as I read it. It's not something that I can like read fast. An audiobook, having it at a higher speed just doesn't feel right for some reason. It only works for me personally at 100% speed, which is honestly, I've never listened to an audiobook at 100% speed. I usually find it pretty slow, but not in this case. So yeah, it's a good time. I haven't read too much, but still, I'm enjoying my time reading this book. And yeah, yesterday we made it to our destination, to our hotel. It's actually a place that has like hot springs within the hotel, but they're outdoors. So last night we pretty much like spent the entire evening just like sitting in the hot springs, and it was so nice and so relaxing. So today the plan is exactly the same. It is raining quite a lot. It was snowing this morning, which is fun because this winter hasn't been that cold, or we didn't see too much snow this winter. It's been fun to see a bit of it, and then now it's just raining. So I don't know how it's going to be being in a hot spring while it's raining, but we'll figure it out. I won't be able to film anything there though, because there is so many people, and also I don't think you're actually allowed to take pictures or film, and yeah, it's just there's too much going on. There's too many people. I don't want to invade anyone's privacy. So yeah, I'm just gonna go enjoy my day. I will let you guys know if anything fun happens or if I make any more progress in the book. And yeah, I'll chat to you in a bit. So my boyfriend and I are so addicted to the new game Split Fiction that just came out that we literally brought our PlayStation with us and we're playing Split Fiction in the night. But it's such a great co-op game, and we have found so many Easter eggs. Sorry, let me put you down. We have found so many Easter eggs in it already. It has so many references to other video games like Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy, Assassin's Creed, Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, like there are so many references, and also there are some like folklore and book references, and it is just so fun. It is, I feel like it's more difficult than It Takes Two. But we're enjoying it so much, and also I feel like it's a perfect game for a reader who likes video games. It is set in a future where writers are able to create basically like a virtual reality of their book, so readers can really like fully experience the world. And it is about two writers. One of them is a fantasy writer and the other one is sci-fi writer, and they happen to be in the same world. So basically the virtual reality that they're in is split between science fiction and fantasy, so you constantly jump between the two worlds, and it's absolutely brilliant. We are having the best time playing this game, and every single game that this company comes out with is just amazing. So yeah, we're going to be playing more Split Fiction tonight. Hi friends, welcome back. It is now Monday afternoon. Yesterday I came back home. I had such a lovely weekend, and yesterday after I came back I pretty much just relaxed and rested for the rest of the day, and I read more of Beartown. A lot more of Beartown. Let me tell you something in this book. I think after page 100 there are some drugs laced within the pages of this book because I could not stop reading it. I am so addicted to this book. However, I want to be very clear that this is a very dark, grim book. It talks about a lot of very heavy topics. I did know about the trigger warnings going into it. I wasn't sure how big of like a plot those trigger warnings are going to be, and they are a very big part of the plot. They are pretty much the main plot line of this book. So please, if you ever consider reading this book, check content warnings, because this book is about one big thing that is like very triggering, but there are also a lot of many other ones that are mentioned within. It is not a light-hearted read at all, but the writing is incredible. I cannot stop reading this book, as I told you. You know, every day I wake up and the first thing I do is like check my phone, check text, check social media. It's not great, but it's the reality. And this morning, the first thing I did is I reached for this book. So I was reading it before I was falling asleep last night. And then I read it the first thing in the morning, a few pages before I had to get up and do things, because I cannot stop. I am so addicted to this book. I have just over 100 pages, I think. Let me check. Yeah, I have just over 100 pages of this left. I am so nervous. This book is really testing my patience in terms of every single male character of this story I want to punch in the face. And I actually kind of want to set Beartown on fire right now. That's how I'm feeling about the entire situation. It's so hard to read about. I love how Frederick Backman handles all of the very difficult topics, and I love how he writes the characters, but the more I go into it, the more I feel like even the characters that I felt were like nice, like I liked very good sides of these characters, now I look at them and I go, I really dislike most of these people, specifically men and boys of this town. Women, not so much. It's a really hard read. It is not lighthearted. I am really, really glad that I didn't read it back in January, because as I said, I wasn't in the best headspace. I just don't want this to be like a lighthearted, like, oh my god, this book is amazing, everyone should read it. No, I don't think everyone should be reading it, but I do think it is written amazingly. I'm very interested to see how the story is going to unfold. I feel for these characters. I grew really attached to these characters, and I want to know, but also I don't want to know how this book is going to end. And honestly, I don't know. Once I finish this book, part of me wants to pick up something that is going to be a lot more lighthearted to kind of switch off from this read. However, also another part of me wants to drive to a bookstore and buy books 2 and 3 and read them back to back, because I am truly like, the writing style is so addictive, and the way of storytelling is very, very addictive. Once you start reading it, you really cannot put it down, even though it is, as I said, pretty depressing and sad. So yeah, that's my experience of reading Beartown. As for my plans for the day, I have a few things I need to get done, but after that I actually really want to go on a walk, because it is a sunny day and we only get like one of those every week or every 10 days. So I really want to take advantage of it, because it literally looks like such a gorgeous day. So I want to go on a long walk, and I think I want to listen to an audiobook while I'm walking. However, I do not want to listen to, because as I said, I only have about 100 pages left of Beartown, and I do not want to finish this book on audio while I'm outside, because I just fear something worse is about to happen, and I am scared of the ending of the book. And I also at the same time want to savor it as well and kind of really experience it. This is the type of thing that I can handle with my eyeballs, but not through audiobooks, so I'm not going to be doing that to myself. I'm going to be starting a new book while I go on my walk. I don't actually know what I'm about to read, but I need to show you something and confess something. I have created a rather unhinged situation for myself, so let me show you. So this entire pile are books that I borrowed from the library in the past couple of weeks. Like, a lot of my holds came through, and then I just saw some books on the library shelf that I really wanted to read, and I ended up here with way too many books from the library, and I have not read any of them. But here is a quick review of every single book that I have borrowed from the library. None of them are overdue, okay? I don't do that here. I know it's a little bit much. So the first book I have is Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. I really want to read something from this author, and I do feel like this is going to be very infuriating, but I'm interested. It's about like two rival authors and one steals another author's work. Okay, the next one is The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. I really wanted to get into this book. It's like a short novella that's set in Cosmere, but it's a standalone. It's not related to any of his series, and I heard really great things about it, so I'm very curious to check it out. Then I picked up Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. So this is the book 2 of the Emily Wilde series. I just randomly saw it on the shelf of the library available, and I really want to continue this series, and I just like suddenly was in the mood to read this book. It's a really fun like fantasy romance, but the main character is in academia. She like writes the Encyclopedia of Fairies, and it's a really great like atmospheric, has a bit of like cozy vibes, and I really enjoyed book 1. Then I have The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. This is a contemporary story about someone who goes to the Mediterranean to start a new life, but also like uncover secrets about their friend's death. But apparently it's like feel good kind of story about being human, and life is great. I don't know. I really don't know. Then we have Starter Villain by John Scalzi, a book that I've been meaning to pick up for a while. This is about someone inheriting their uncle's supervillain business. That sounds really fun. Then I have a book that's actually is very interesting. It's called Hereafter and After by Richard Parks. This is a book that is really short. It was in the fantasy section. I never heard anything about it before, and I just picked it up from the shelf because I'm looking for some short books right now. I saw this one on the shelf. As I said, it's like it's 90 pages long. I decided to check it on Goodreads. It has 18 reviews. I was intrigued and I wanted to check it out. As I said, it is a fantasy book about someone who gets to the afterlife, but they're not very happy to like settle in heaven and just, relax and enjoy their time in afterlife for as much as possible. So they decide to take a trip to hell to kind of find a purpose of life. But, well, it's not life, a purpose of afterlife. Anyway, something like that. I don't know. I got intrigued, so I decided to pick it up. And then the last one is Girlfriend on Mars by Deborah Willis. I saw this book at the bookstore and I was very intrigued. It is about a couple and the girlfriend. One day she's just like, oh, by the way, I signed up for a one-way trip to Mars and I'm going to be starring in a reality TV show to get to Mars. That's that. It sounds very intriguing. I actually started this one. I think I read the first 30 pages, but I'm not feeling like reading this one. This is too short and I don't know. Considering it has 18 reviews, I don't even know if the audiobook exists. So from all of these books, what am I feeling in the mood for? I think I am kind of feeling fantasy, and Emily Wilde sounds really good. Emperor's Soul, Brandon Sanderson always sounds really good. Starter Villain, potentially. I'm going to go on my walk in a bit and I might just try like a first chapter of every audiobook. I hope all of them are on Spotify. If some of them are not, then that won't be natural selection. But yeah, I'm going to try a couple of these on audio, see which one I'm feeling more in the mood for, because that's what this video is all about, mood reading. So I'm gonna do that and I will let you guys know what book I start and whatever else that happens. I am back home. I had such a good walk. I walked for like over 2.5 hours. It was really, really good. I'm really trying to get back into like a fitness routine, or rather, there is nothing really to get back to. I'm trying to establish a fitness routine because I don't have one, and I have been neglecting exercise for so long in my life. I'm trying to get into a healthy relationship with exercise and just move more, because I truly just sit and sleep and then sit, and that's it. Like I don't move at all. Anyway, so on my walk, actually, first I started listening to The Emperor's Soul by Brandon Sanderson. I really didn't like the narrator at all. I don't know, I couldn't even listen to the prologue. I was like really not feeling it, and my brain was not comprehending what I was listening to. So I decided instead, as I said, to pick up Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, and I am enjoying this book so much so far. So I listened to like 2 hours of the audiobook, and somehow I'm only on page 68. I don't know how that happened, but then I think there were many moments when I would start thinking about something and my mind would start wandering, and then I would get back to the audiobook and I was like, I don't know what happened, I need to rewind. And then I kept rewinding so many times, so I think that's why I didn't actually listen to that much of it, or as much as I thought I did. I'm on page 68 so far. I'm enjoying it so much. In this book, Emily and Wendell are going to the Alps, which is so fun. I'm so excited. I feel like it's going to be so atmospheric, so fun. So far, I'm enjoying it a lot. Like, it's so easy to get into. It's such a like a light-hearted fantasy series. There are many moments that just made me smile, like not necessarily like laugh. It's not a funny book, it's just charming and very, very adorable. So I'm having really, really great time reading this book, or rather listening to it, although I will be also physically reading it. Look at this library copy. This book has been through stuff. It's seen better days, but that's okay, that's fine. So I'm going to be continuing this, but I do think my priority is still finishing Beartown. I haven't made any more progress in Beartown since I last spoke to you, but I might be reading more later tonight before I go to bed. For now, I'm just gonna relax for the evening. I picked up some sushi on my way home, so I'm gonna have dinner, maybe play Split Fiction, maybe watch something, maybe read more Beartown. I don't know, we will see. I'll probably chat to you guys tomorrow. I only have about 60 pages left of this book, so let's finish it now. Welcome back, everyone. I finally finished Beartown by Frederick Backman. I absolutely loved my time reading this book. It's definitely a sadder read and it handles a lot of really difficult, serious topics. Specifically, there is a big content warning for SA. Be warned and don't go into this lightly, thinking it's just going to be like an entertaining read. It's a deep philosophical read. It explores a lot of social issues, a lot of very serious topics that are sad and upsetting. However, if there is an author whom I would trust to handle those difficult topics, it would be Frederick Backman. The way that he writes about everything is absolutely amazing, and even when he talks about so many sad things, there's always like an intertwined hope and sadness and heartbreak and just all of the feelings in one, all of the sides of being human. Everything is interconnected, and the way that he creates this intricate story is absolutely incredible. And I really love this book. I'm so glad that I finally picked it up. And honestly, it takes everything in me not to go in the car and go drive to a bookstore and pick up Us Against You, the second book of this trilogy. But at the same time, I feel like maybe I need a break. These books are a lot, and also at the end of this book we get some snippets of events that are going to happen later in the trilogy that I am not emotionally prepared for at all. Actually, I was very surprised because I didn't cry reading this book. For some reason, when I watch TV, when I watch movies, I cry so easily, but then when I read books, it takes a lot to make me cry. And I did not cry, but it was close. And I definitely see myself crying later on in the series when I continue. It's not an if, it's a when. Literally the whole point of this video is mood reading, so I'm going to pick it up when I am in the mood for it. Also, I've read the first 100-ish pages of Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. I enjoyed this so much, and I'm definitely looking forward to continuing this book. This is such an enjoyable, light-hearted series. Very different vibe to Beartown, but I'm having a great time reading this book. I'm going to be continuing, and I'm very excited to see what new adventures Emily and Wendell are going to be up to in this one. But with that, it's time to wrap up this vlog. I really hope you enjoyed coming along with me on a few days as I do some things and do some reading. I haven't read that much in this vlog, but I felt like it was definitely quality over quantity type of reading. And yeah, I had a great time filming this. I love doing vlogs. I really want to make more of them in the future. Also, I'm almost done playing Split Fiction, and this game is absolutely incredible. If there is one thing you take away from this video, is that if you like video games, if you like playing, and if you have someone whom you can play with either like couch co-op or online, please play Split Fiction because it is an absolutely amazing game. My partner and I are having a great time playing it, and it's just so fun. The amount of details that there are from sci-fi and fantasy, this game is truly for readers, but it's also for game lovers. There are so many Easter eggs to so many video games, and it's really fun to go along and spot them, but also it is definitely like a game, as I said, for readers, and there are so many amazing scenarios. I really wish I could spoil some for you, but I'm not going to. But trust me, if you like fantasy especially, but also sci-fi, like both of them, I just feel like it's just iconic. It's amazing, and I love this game so much. I don't want it to end, but also I cannot stop playing it, so I'm definitely going to be finishing it tonight or tomorrow, one of these days for sure. But yeah, highly recommend. Anyway, that is going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming along with me on my week. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.